you're in a rush. You have to be somewhere, whether it be an appointment, a movie theater, you're gonna meet your girlfriend, a doctor's appointment. You gotta be somewhere and you have to be there ASAP, pronto. So you're rushing to this appointment in your car, and another car wants to get ahead of you, and you decide to do the generous thing. You decide to be a good person and you say, go ahead. You give them the signal, go ahead and get in front of me. And they get in front of you, and they make the light and you don't. Oh, that hurts. That hurts bad because time is of the essence. You have to be somewhere and your generosity backfired. Well, guess what? This happens in real estate too. Happens in real estate all the time if you don't make the right decision. Let me share with you my thoughts on being nice in real estate, particularly, ready, wait for it, particularly the interim occupancy agreement. Don't let it backfire in your face. Stay tuned. But before we go there, like the video, you got it? Good. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Not sure why you haven't done so yet. And last but not least, I want you to go ahead and hit that bell icon. We want to inform you of the next video that comes out because we want to make you the best that you can be in this real estate world. You got it? Good. Let's rock. Hey, now listen, happens occasionally where you want to be nice in the real estate transaction. You should always be nice in a real estate transaction, but you don't have to bend over backwards for the opposing team. Stick with me. Your fiduciary duties are to your client, to your principal, to your seller. You have to be faithful to them. You have to protect them, protect them at all times. It's January 1st, and this escrow is going to close on January 31st. It's a nice, simple 30-day escrow. You got it? In the middle of the month, your seller moves out, and they're moving out of state. They're gone. Just the way it was planned. Now you have buyers who are gonna be moving in at the close of this deal, January 31st. They can't wait to get the keys. However, something happened. The buyer's agent calls you. The listing agent, and says, hey Rico, how you doing? Listen, my buyers have to be out of their house by the 25th of January. Would you mind if they moved into the house sooner than the close of escrow? Would you mind if they moved in on the 25th of January and not wait for the close of escrow January 31st? Would you mind if my buyers moved into this house 1 week early while your seller is still the owner of the property? Is that even possible? Can you allow somebody to move into your seller's house when they're not the owners? Is it a good idea? Does it happen often? Ready? Here comes the answer. It does happen often. And that's called interim occupancy agreement. That's the agreement we use right here. It's called the interim occupancy agreement. It's 6 pages that clears up everything if you're gonna allow these buyers to move in early. You're allowing buyers to move in early who aren't the legal owners yet. Now, is that a good idea? Well, this document here, the interim occupancy agreement, spells all the responsibilities out. And who's responsible for what? We're talking about, it's almost very similar to a lease. In fact, I would consider it a lease. On here, you have a deposit that the buyers must come in with. You have what the seller's gonna charge the buyers to live in that property for that 1 week. But you also have in this document mediation. Now, when you get to the legal side of these kind of things, it gets a little scary. So let's back it up. If the seller is nice enough and says, sure, let the buyers move in early. They're gonna be the owners after all a week from today. What could possibly go wrong? Have them fill out the interim occupancy agreement and I'll be fine. Now, what should you do as a real estate agent? Should you go ahead and encourage this? I think you should reconsider. Although the buyers have nowhere to go, your job is to protect your seller. Your job is to protect who? Your seller. Let me give you an example. True story happened to me. I had the seller. The buyer had to be out of his apartment on a particular day, days before escrow was to close, days before the buyer was going to be the legal owner. And the buyers requested, please let us move in early. Please let us move in early. We'll pay whatever we have to pay just to have a place to stay, just a place to store our goods, our new furniture, so that we're prepared when we are the legal owners. And our seller said, okay, have them fill out what? Yeah, the interim occupancy agreement. And they did. And they stored all of their brand new furniture into the garage because the seller wasn't that nice. He said, you can move in your furniture into the garage, but you're not gonna move any bodies into the property. So what happens? Seems harmless. Seems like this is gonna be a seamless end to an escrow. Within a week, the buyers will be the new owners. Seller's out of town. Seller moves on with his life. Well, not so simple. What happened in this particular case was that a pipe in the property, a hose in the property, became disconnected, and the entire first floor of this 2-story home flooded. It flooded. We're talking 2-3 inches of water on the entire first floor. Then it leaked into the garage. Now the garage had 2-3 feet of water, which of course ruined what? Yeah, all that furniture that was stored in there by the buyer. Now, of course, the buyer was extremely upset. The buyer was screaming and hollering. I don't blame him. But who would have predicted this accident? It destroyed their brand new furniture. It destroyed the house. You see, whenever there's interim occupancy, there's a risk. Anything can happen. Now imagine if somebody lived in the house, to sleep there, to cook there, and there was a fire, a death. Somebody tripped down the stairs and broke their neck, who knows? Sure, it's nice to have the documents that explain in detail who's responsible for this and who's responsible for that. But when accidents happen during an escrow, it becomes an extreme mess. So sure, although it's available to the realtors, interim occupancy agreement, your seller wants to be nice and they want to go ahead and let that car ahead of them, they might end up with that red light. And your job again is to protect them at all times. Sometimes the interim occupancy, it's reasonable to use it. But how do I feel? I feel you hand over the keys when the buyer becomes the new homeowner. Play it safe. Protect your seller from any shenanigans that can go on, from any accidents that can go on, from any incidents that will affect them negatively from going wrong. Don't allow them to catch that red light. Your job is to put them on the fast lane to the finish line. Your job is to put them on that carpool lane saying, well, I'm gonna get you there as fast as we can get there without any speed bumps. Hope this helps you out. Again, listen, it's nice to know what's available to you. And it's also nice to be educated on all the documents that are provided to us from the California Association of Realtors. So make sure you know them all. Be familiar with them. You never know when they come in handy. Hope this helps you out. Hey, listen, also, do me a favor, huh? Don't forget, every first week of every month, we have free classes for you, a free intro session. So you can check out our classes. Thinking about being a real estate agent? Check it out. Give us a call today or check out our website, the beautiful website, www.carealtytraining.com. What are you waiting for? Your life deserves a nice new change and possibly a challenge. Go for it. We'll see you next week.